All right, welcome everybody to the Weird Science Marvel Comic Sales and Solicits podcast. This is either episode number 3 or 4. I didn't do my research to look that up, but somewhere between one of those two. We're going to get into the May 2019 Solicits here from Marvel Comics. Get ready, strap in for an event-heavy, tie-in heavy month. I don't know, depending on your excitement for War of the Realms here after the first book I talk about, your, I don't know, your mileage may vary, so to speak here. But we're going to get right into it. And we're going to start off with some news that dropped at the end of last week. And that is the relaunch of a new Marvel title, which happens to be Savage Avengers #1. That's written by Jerry Dugan, art by Mike Deodato Jr., cover by David Finch. And this is going to be the most savage, unlikable team of characters in the Marvel Universe is assembled. Wolverine, Venom, Elektra, Punisher, and in their midst, Conan the Barbarian. Conan has returned to the Marvel Universe, and his new adventures begin here. What is the City of Sickles? Who is Marrow God? And how is the Hand involved? The roughest and most dangerous characters rumble through this new title, starting with Conan vs. Wolverine? ? Enough said. So yeah, I mean, I'm mildly excited for that. I don't really need Conan in the Marvel Universe, so to speak. Kind of enough characters they could have used to fill that niche, but I don't know. I'll peek at the first couple issues, see what's going on there. Then we're gonna get right into War of the Realms stuff here, folks. So be ready. Got a lot of tie-ins, a lot of War of the Realms stuff to get through. I will warn you or give you the heads up when that is over. We started off with War of the Realms #3 of 6. It's written by Jason Aaron, art by Russell Dauterman, cover by Arthur Adams and Matthew Wilson. North America freezes in New Jotunheim. Europe becomes New Staffelheim. Asia goes up in flames as the new domain of Queen Cinder and her fire goblins. Ulick the troll lays claim to Australia, while Amora and the Enchantress raise an army of the undead in South America. Africa falls to the angels of heaven, while Roxanne Oil drops its stakes in Antarctica. They kind of got the shaft there, huh? Midgard now belongs to Mikaelith and his allies. The Avengers' last hope lies in a series of suicide missions across the realms, starting with the rescue of Thor, last seen surrounded by an army of frost giants in Jotunheim. That must be regular Jotunheim and not New Jotunheim, which is North America. But yeah, that all sounds like just not very interesting to me. Sounds like going to be 6 issues of fighting and a bunch of nonsense being told in tie-ins, but I digress here as we move on to War of the Realms #4 of 6. Jason Aaron, Russell Dauterman, cover by Arthur Adams and Matthew Wilson. Pray to all Mother Freya, for in her hands lies the key to ending Mikaelith's war. The Black Bifrost, the only method of travel for Mikaelith's vast armies, must fall. Even with the Punisher, Ghost Rider, Blade, and Hulk, Jen Walters at Freya's side, how many Dark Elves can one goddess kill? While Freya's team heads for the swamps of Staffelheim, Captain America's rescue mission in Jotunheim faces the wrath of giants. Captain Marvel leads a global assault team against Mikaelith's allies, and the Black Panther defends Avengers Mountain against the siege of mythic proportion. None of them know that Mikaelith has a secret weapon, and its bite will prove most venomous. Venom, possibly. That is $4.99. Both those War of the Realms books are $4.99. Look to be just regular Marvel page count, so that's kind of a kick in the newts there. Moving on, we're going to start getting into tie-in territory here. War of the Realms Strike Force, the Dark Elf Realm #1. Brian Hill, art by Lionel Francis Yu. So Brian Hill, big Get Fresh crew fan favorite there. The Punisher leads the charge to shut down the Black Bifrost. Deep in the swamps of Staffelheim stands a Black Bifrost, Mikaelith's corrupted Rainbow Bridge, and the only reliable means of travel between the realms with the true Bifrost in pieces. If the gods are going to stop Mikaelith's invasion, the Black Bridge must fall. With her son missing and husband injured, Lady Freya must take up the challenge herself, but she won't go alone. Hulk, Jen Walters, the Punisher, Blade, and Ghost Rider follow the All-Mother of Asgard straight into Mikaelith's home territory. That is issue 1. That's going to be $4.99. War of the Realms, Strike Force, the War of Avengers #1. Captain Marvel and her War Avengers hold the front line, while 2 other Strike Force teams head out to other realms. Captain Marvel leads the fight to reclaim the Earth, but even with the crew of heavy hitters, Weapon H, Captain Britain, Venom, Deadpool, and 2 of the best spies on the planet, the Winter Soldier and Black Widow, Carol's fighting a losing game. Michaela's allies are without number, and the battlefield bigger than any Carol's commanded before. Time to lay it out on the line. The fight for a miracle. That's going to be 40 pages, so a little extra for your $4.99 on that one. War of the Realms, Strike Force, the Land of the Giants #1. Jesus, these titles are just like a mouthful here. This is going to be a Tom Taylor joint, art by Jorge Molina. The Gods of Thunder is trapped in the land of ice and snow, and it's up to Captain America to rescue him before all is lost. Taking up Thor's axe, Jan Jaborn, Cap and his team, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist invade the Frost Giant realm in search of their fellow Avenger. But this rescue mission will cost far more than they expect. Well, they're really doing it with Wolverine. I think Wolverine is in every single Marvel title currently coming out. So there's that. Or a version of him. You know, there's multiple versions of him, even a couple new ones all of a sudden. War of the Realms, Spider-Man in the League of Realms, #1 and 2 of 3 come out in May. This is written by Sean Ryan, who has done some good Spider-Man work that I like, but I will tell you right now, I am not buying any Spider-Man War of the Realms stuff. Nico Leone is on art, covers by Ken Lashley. Take a quick sip of coffee here. This is a War of the Realms tie-in. In order to win the War of the Realms, we need a League of the Realms. Thor once led this team with 1 representative from each fantastical realm, but the League has a new leader and representative of Midgard, Spider-Man. Spider-Man must Frodo up and lead his ragtag group of Screwbeard the Dwarf, Ood the Troll, Ro Bloodrot the Wizard, Sir Ivy Honeyshot, the Light Elf, and Tynea the Mountain Giant. But who will represent Asgard? I don't know. Possibly Odin. And as Spidey is a terrible leader, could this possibly achieve anything? That's actually $3.99. So that's the first War of the Realms book I've seen this month for $3.99. So, enjoy that. Save your wallet $1. War of the Realms, War Scrolls #2 of 3, written by Jason Aaron, Devin Grayson, and more. So it seems like a multiple kind of, an anthology book, multiple story book. Andrea Sorrentino and more on art, covered by Alan Davis, Mark Farther, and Matt Hollingsworth. The must-read companion to War of the Realms. From the Asgardian Bifrost, Daredevil watches Mikhailith and his forces lay waste to the realms. Jason Aaron and Andrea Sorrentino take Daredevil, the god without fear, to places he never believed he would see. Oh, I'm having trouble here. They're forgetting Daredevil's got sight here for this event. Then Devin Grayson spins a tale of magic and its consequences as Doctor Strange casts a spell that will cost him dearly and devastate the Asgardian pantheon. All this and more straight from the battlefield of War of the Realms. $4.99 for 40 pages there. War of the Realms, Punisher 2 of 3, written by Jerry Dugan, Marcelo Fiera on art, covered by Juan Friera. Punisher leads this band of criminals and hospital patients through the Lincoln Tunnel, but traffic is the least of their concerns. Hordes of monsters from every realm are using New York City as a hunting ground, and the hospital Denzians? That's a weird word. Look like evil prey. I'm not the brightest man, but I don't know. Never heard that word before, I guess. The hospital Denzians? In the dark, surrounded by monsters, and with his only wits and weapons, Frank Castle may never have felt more at home. War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas, numbers 1 and 2 of 4. Written by Greg Pak, art by Greg Hawk Lim, and covered by Billy Tan. Featuring Marvel's newest heroes wave, Arrow and Swordmaster. I don't know what that means. Issue 1, a War of the Realms tie-in series, as Cinder, immortal queen of Muspelheim, and her legions of fire demons march on Aza. It's time for a new brand of heroes to unite to protect the Pacific Rim. Having brought together a ragtag team of heroes to defend the Earth from an alien invasion in the past, can Amadeus Cho resemble reassemble his protectors, Shang-Chi, Silk, and Jimmy Choo, to save the world from incineration. And where is Kamala Khan? And just who are Crescent, Lo, and Luna Snow? Featuring Marvel's newest heroes from China, Arrow and Swordmaster, and a mysterious new Filipino heroine named Wave. The Queen of Cinders has conquered Korea for issue 2 and the rest of Asia. And only Amadeus Cho and the battered band of international superheroes stand between her and her ultimate goal: to melt the polar ice caps and turn all of Midgard into a sweltering new Muspelheim. With the ice-wielding superhero Luna Snow down for the count, Amadeus and his team must find a new way to fight. Well, joke is on Queen Cinder there, because if she would just wait, I don't know, 30 more years, the ice caps will melt themselves. So patience is a virtue, my friend. War of the Realms, Journey into Mystery 2 of 5. Clint, Justin Travis, and Griffin McElroy on writing duties. Andre Lima Arejo on art. Covered by Valerio Shetty and David Curell. The McElroys take Miles Morales and company camping. Looks like Balder and his babysitting team have more than fire goblins and foul diapers to worry about. A marshmallow roasting campout in the Midwest goes up in flames when deadly shape-shifting aliens make a campfire appearance, but the real danger is barreling down the highway behind them. Ares, the Greek god of war, is hot on baby Luasa's trail. If Balder the Brave, Wonder Man, Sebastian Druid, Kate Bishop, Miles Morales, and Death Locket aren't going to stay ahead of him, Kate's going to have to teach one of them to drive. I have no idea what's going on in any of this War of the Realms stuff, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. None of it sounds good to me. I'm not excited for this in any way, shape, or form, if you cannot tell by the enthusiasm in my voice already. And it just keeps going here. As we have War of the Realms, Journey into Mystery. Number 3, Clint, Justin Travis, Griffin McElroy. Andre Lima Arejo on art, Valerio Shetty and David Curell on covers. Marvel's long-dead Western heroes join the War of the Realms, but whose side are they on? It's up to Miles Morales to find out, and Baby Lucis seems to be up to more than a game of peekaboo. The little goddess is acting strange again, and her charms may add fuel to the fire. War of the Realms, Uncanny X-Men, number 2 of 3. Written by Matthew Rosenberg, art by Pepe Perez, cover by David Yarden. Sabretooth, tired of being the X-Men's pet, is back to his bloodthirsty ways once again. Now joined by Michaela's forces, he's determined to make the X-Men bleed for him. So a bad guy Sabretooth story. Fantastic Four, number 10, War of the Realms tie-in. Dan Slott on writing duty, Stefano Caselli on art. Don't bring your war to Yancey Street. That's the Solicit, $3.99. Venom number 14, War of the Realms tie-in. Written by Cullen Bunn. So Donny Cates stepping back off the book here for a little bit. Ivan Coelho on art duties, covered by Ryan Stegman. Chaos reigns as Michaela's campaign to take over the Nine Realms sweeps through Manhattan, with desperate battles raging all around them. To quell Michaela's horde, Venom has teamed up with an unlikely group to try to stop Michaela, or die trying. $3.99. Giant Man 1 and 2 both come out this month of 3. Issue 1 and 2 are written by Leah Williams, art by Marco Castellio, and cover art by Wu Chiol. Issue 1, at the behest of Mother Freya, 4 men must ride to monstrous heights and infiltrate the most savage territory of New Jotunheim, Florida. Well, Florida's already a mess. No offense to anybody listening from Florida, but New Jotunheim, I think you have your hands full there. Issue 2, 4 of the biggest men in the Marvel Universe are on a mission in Frost Giant territory. Kill the patriarch of all Frost Giants himself, Ymir, on behalf of Lady Freya. But how exactly will they penetrate Laufey's forces? By becoming masters of disguise, of course. $3.99 each for both of those. As Guardians of the Galaxy number 9, War of the Realms tie-in, written by Cullen Bunn, art by Matteo Loli. New York City is overrun with Michaela's forces. Earth is inches from falling to the Dark Elf King. And with Thor missing in Jotunheim, All-Father Odin injured, and Mother Freya about to embark on a mission of her own, Valkyrie is one of the few gods left to face the onslaught. But her fate is intertwined with another. What of Annabelle Riggs, the mortal girl who shares the body of a god? The ride of Valkyrie begins here. Thor number 13, Jason Aaron. Art by Mike Del Mundo. Marvel has a 25th anniversary variant cover by Alex Ross, so some people might find that interesting. I don't usually read variant cover artists, but, Alex Ross gets a shout out here. War of the Realms tie-in. Weeks ago, All-Father Odin sent his brother Kull, the Serpent, the god of fear, Thor's backstabbing uncle, into the depths of Michaela's home realm, Stalfenheim. There lies the Black Bifrost, Michaela's own corrupted rainbow bridge. Kull's mission is to gather intelligence on the Bifrost, and if he can, destroy it. But will Kull redeem himself at last, or has the Allfather made another critical mistake in this War of the Realms? Whew. The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl number 44, War of the Realms tie-in. The other 9 realms have fallen, Earth is under attack, and the only one who can save us is Doreen Green, a.k.a. the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. So that's terrific. We're in great hands and don't need to worry at all. Or at least we would be if it weren't for the complicating factor of an ancient Asgardian squirrel chaos god who's decided she wants to be friends. In this issue, Squirrel Girl and Ratascore fight frost giants and their unspoken assumptions about each other. The arc is a War of the Realms tie-in, but it's also an awesome standalone story that you don't need to be reading all the other comics to get. Nobody's reading Squirrel Girl anyway, so I don't think they need to worry about that. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, number 43. Brandon Monteclair on writing duties. Ray Anthony Height and Gustavo Duarte on art, cover by Nachada Bustos. After reading that name, I suddenly want a big plate of nachos. War of the Realms tie-in for Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur as well. When Manhattan is frozen solid and frost giants prowl the streets, Devil Dinosaur must keep the peace. Plus the first meeting of Moon Girl and Thor. Champions number 5. Jim Zub, Stephen Cummings, and Kim Jacinto are the creative team. Marvel Battle Lines variant by Max Lim, War of the Realms tie-in. The War of the Realms rages across Midgard, bringing together heroes from across the globe to fight for our city against mythic evil. In the midst of chaos, the champions need Scott Summers. Cyclops reunites with the champions, all grown up. $3.99. Tony Stark Iron Man, number 12. Written by Gail Simone. Polalo Vinelli on art and cover by Alexander Lozano. War of the Realms tie-in. A war needs weapons, but Tony Stark once vowed that he'd never build weapons again. So why is he hunkered down with Screwbeard the Dwarf in Avengers Mountain? And what is he making? $3.99. Avengers 19, War of the Realms tie-in. Written by Jason Aaron, art by Ed McGuinness. Avengers Mountain is under siege as the last stranglehold of Earth's heroes is the subject of an all-out assault by the force of Mikaelith. $7.99 for that bad boy. No, thank you. No, thank you. Jesus, this War of the Realms stuff is brutal, people. We're finally going to step out of it and only into kind of another, I don't know what you'd call it, Spider-Man event, kind of. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, number 20.hu. These are the issue numbers here, people. Written by Nick Spencer, art by Corey Smith. This is a Spider-Man Hunted tie-in. The Vulture is one of Spider-Man's oldest villains and his oldest villain. This doesn't make any sense. The Vulture is one of Spider-Man's oldest villains and his oldest villain. That is just a horribly written sentence, Nick Spencer. But that doesn't make him any less dangerous. Kraven's biggest hunt has thrown everything upside down, and there's plenty of carrion for the Vulture. Jesus Christ, I might not buy that book just simply based on solicitation alone. I'm really questioning these HU issues, if they're going to be worth it or not for the Spider-Man Kraven event that's been teased on and off throughout the entire run so far. Amazing Spider-Man number 21, written by Nick Spencer, art by Humberto Ramos. The climactic conclusion of Hunted is here. Spidey faces an impossible situation that will push him as far as he's ever been pushed. Who lives and who dies when the hunters become the prey? Amazing Spider-Man 22, written by Nick Spencer. Art by Ryan Otley, who's finally returning to the title after what? I don't know, 10-issue break. I don't Jesus, Ryan Otley. You better be on for a nice long string after this, because I mean I like your art, but I don't need you coming and going here. Anyway, Hunted Aftermath. The fallout from Hunted continues to loom, and much of Peter's life is called into question. What is left of Spider-Man after living through the harrowing hunt? $3.99. Captain America number 11. Captain of Nothing continues. Hunted Aftermath. Manhunt. But who is doing the hunting? The law enforcement apparatus of the world or Captain America himself? Jesus, I mean, this is written by Tanishi Coates, art by Adam Kubert, cover by Alex Ross. I don't know how Tanishi Coates expects anybody to be excited for his books. What's kind of solicits like that, if you're a solicits person, I mean, that doesn't make me want to read that at all. Anyway, we got some Marvel Tales Iron Man. It's just, basically like I could sum them up by saying they're the Walmart specials without new material. So it's just like 3 random issues from Iron Man's past. They have a Marvel Tales Avengers coming out. And then we're going to get back to some new stuff. But I mean, if you're interested in those are 80 pages, like just 3 old stories seemingly combined together into one book for $8. So if you're not buying every War of the Realms tie-in, which will cost you over $100 for the month of May alone, you can drop $8 a piece on some old Marvel comics from the 60s and 40s and so on there. Invaders number 5, World War Namor. That's the entire solicit. That's written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Carlos Mango and Butch Gucci. Yeah, we're moving on. Immortal Hulk number 17. Bruce Banner is trapped inside Shadow Base Site A, powerless and hunted by their top assassin. He can't run forever. He can't change form. He can't survive without the Immortal Hulk. But not the one you think. $3.99. Immortal Hulk number 18, written by Al Ewing, art by Joe Bennett, cover by Alex Ross. Shadowbase has declared total war on Bruce Banner, and one by one, death is touching everyone he ever knew. Except for one, the one monster who never dies, who returns again and again to hate and destroy. But it's not the Immortal Hulk. All right, moving on. We got some of Marvel's greatest creators. Those $1 issues seems to be they're moving to creators now instead of focusing on characters for the month there. So I'm not going to recap those. Then we get into some Star Wars stuff, and you guys know how I feel about Star Wars, so I don't talk about it. We got Marvel's Spider-Man City at War, number 3 of 6. That's written by Dennis Hopeless Hallam. Art by Michelle Banditti. This is the video game tie-in book, or kind of like prequel to the video game, or told alongside the story of the video game. I'm not quite sure. Daily Bugle reporter Mary Jane investigates Mr. Negative's tragic City Hall bombing and uncovers something far worse in the making. But even armed with this knowledge, can she and Spider-Man act quickly enough to disarm the Devil's Breath bomb before it destroys the city? And find out how the secret origin of this toxic weapon changes what you thought you knew about this colorful cast of characters. So yeah, this is the exact story from the video game in comic book form, so I won't be reading that. We got Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man continuing. Issue number 6, written by Tom Taylor, Yilda Ray Sinar, on art duties, covered by Andrew C. Robinson. The neighborhood and the planet is doomed. Spider-Man is powerless to stop the end of the world. Only Earth's newest and mightiest hero, Spider-Bite, can save the day. Wait, what? That's actually in the solicit, the wait what. That is not me being sarcastic. That's $3.99. It looks like we, I don't know, kind of have like a Spider-Mite character, kind of like Bat-Mite. I'm not sure what's going on here. We'll have to read it and find out. But I will say the one thing we don't need is any more Wolverines in the Marvel Universe and no more Spider-Men in the Marvel Universe. That's, I mean, give that my stamp of approval. I don't know if anyone agrees with me or not, but yeah, chill, Marvel. Just chill. Symbiote Spider-Man number 2 of 5. So this is a mini-series that flashes back to Spider-Man's past while he wore the symbiote costume. It's written by Peter David, art and colors by Greg Land. Set during the original Alien costume saga, before Peter learned of the symbiote suit's true nature, comes the second installment of this all-new tale from comic legends Peter David and Greg Land. Mysterio, after swallowing another loss against Spider-Man, has sworn vengeance upon the web-slinger, recruiting another villain to enlisting, typo, the aid of an impressionable Hollywood stuntman to take on Spider-Man. Mysterio is dead set on ending Webhead once and for all. However, the symbiote suit isn't willing to give up its host without a fight. $3.99. Spider-Man Life Story, number 3 of 6. This is going to be $4.99 for just a normal-sized book. This is written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Mark Bagley. The real-time life story of Spider-Man continues. It's the 80s, and Peter's life gets upended with wars both global and secret. The death stalks him at every turn. With a family and a world to protect, can he save everyone before it's too late? Miles Morales, number 6. Celine Ahmed, Javier Guerin on art. Who is Starling, and is she single? Or we mean, is she going to stop Tombstone? Or is she about to make that 40.45,000 caliber war for Brooklyn even deadlier? I don't know what any of this. These solicits are just written terribly this month. I'm going to be honest. The last thing he needs is another complication at school. Good thing high school is like a very chill, logical place. Oh, wait. $3.99. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider is continuing with Shannon McGuire. Takeshi Mizawa on art. Making a dent in the criminal underworld has painted a target on Spider-Woman's back, and her secret identity revealed, Gwen Stacy will find the people she cares most about in the crosshairs. But even if she can't save her loved ones from the criminals of Earth 65, Gwen will still be a target herself. Superior Spider-Man number 6. Doctor Strange and Superior Spider-Man have to team up to save Otto's new love from a horrific possession courtesy of Master Pandemonium. But as with everything with Otto Octavius, this is not your typical team up and will turn the whole heroes fight then heroes team up trope on its head. Don't miss the latest installment of the most surprising comic on the stands. Written by Christos Gage, art by Mike Hawthorne, cover by Travis Charest. Spider-Man Deadpool number 50. I am so surprised this book has made it 50 issues. I mean, I know some people, I guess, enjoy it, but it's just crazy. It's gone on so long. Robbie Thompson writing the book, Jim Toe and Matt Harak on art, cover by Dave Johnson. The biggest climax of the biggest Marvel event of all time. An epic 50th issue guaranteed to blow your socks off. Read with extra socks. Spider-Man and Deadpool fight the manipulator for the fate of the entire Marvel universe. I hope they pull it off. I really like this universe. I'm so worried. $4.99. I mean, Marvel should just raise all their books to $4.99 at this point. I mean, they're shilling regular sized comic books. I mean, most of these are just 32 pages like all the other ones. Counting ads. I don't know why they just don't bite the bullet and charge $4.99 for everything, because they just about do anyway, except for, like the Squirrel Girls and the Devil Dinosaurs of the world. Moving on here, we get Meet the Skrulls, number 4 of 5. Robbie Thompson on writing duties, Nico Henrichian on art. After the conclusion of issue 3, the Warner family is a house divided. So strange name, such a strange name for that family. And to make matters worse, they've been exposed. Will the mysterious man in the hat be their exterminator or their salvation? Guardians of the Galaxy, number 5, written by Donny Cates, art by Jeff Shaw, covered by David Marquez. Hela hath no fury. At the mercy of the goddess of death, Hela's dreams of resurrecting Thanos are finally within reach. But what will the Guardians have to sacrifice in order to prevent that? $3.99. Cosmic Ghost Rider destroys Marvel history, number 3 of 6. Written by Paul Scheer and Nick Giovanni, art by Nathan Stockman. Cosmic Ghost Rider becomes an X-Men, whether Charles Xavier likes it or not. What could make the Cosmic Ghost Rider even more powerful? How about slapping some Phoenix Force in there? Wolverine's not the only guy with a sweet motorcycle this issue. It's going to be parental advisory and $3.99. I am here for anything Cosmic Ghost Rider you want to give me. He's just the character, I would say, in the last year of reading Marvel I've enjoyed the most, even more so than Spider-Man, which I've been pretty down on, with Nick Spencer more so than up on, and Wolverine just being a total cluster F. Captain Marvel #5, Kelly Thompson on writing duties, Carmen Carnero on art. The final showdown at last. Thank God this Nuclear Man story ends. The battle at Nuclear Man comes to a head. Captain Marvel's rebellion forces have launched their final desperate assault for control of the island. But Nuclear Man has an ace in the hole, and stopping him will take everything Carol's got. The life of every man, woman, and child on Roosevelt Island rests on Carol's shoulders. She's about to show Nuclear Man why they call her Earth's mightiest hero. Old Man Quill #5. Peter Quill and the Guardians' good deeds across the wastelands are starting to gain them a following, which isn't as good as it sounds as Gladiator and his advanced team from the Universal Church of Truth close in. But it'll all be for nothing if Quill can't escape the Madrox gang. That's written by Ethan Sachs, art by Robert Gill. Thanos #2 of 6. Teenie Howard on writing duties, Ariel Olivetti on art, cover by Jeff Deckel. Nature versus nurture. Did Thanos make Gamora who she is, or was she always the deadliest assassin in the galaxy? Plus, see the origins of Thanos' Black Order. $3.99. Ironheart #6, Evel Ewing, Kevin Lebranda. Miles Morales has gone missing. Who's better to search for him than someone who's never actually gotten along with let me start over here. Miles Morales has gone missing. Who better to search for him than someone he's never actually gotten along with? Riri and Miles find themselves caught in an unexpected trap and will have to work together if they're going to make it out in one piece. Daredevil #5, written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Marco Cicchetti. Accused of murder, Daredevil has been on the run trying to prove his innocence, but even he can't outrun judgment forever. Hidden Gem variant cover by John Romita Jr. for anyone interested. Daredevil #6 also comes out in May. It's written by Chip Zdarsky. Art this time by Lalit Kumar Shamara. Daredevil has disappeared from Hell's Kitchen. In his absence, the real devils are just starting to come out and play. $3.99 for that one. And Shiri's somehow continuing. Ninendi Okafor on writing duties, Rachel Stott on art. Shiri takes up the Black Panther mantle once again. Ninendi Okafor returns alongside rising star artist Rachel Stott with a brand new arc, but this is a Black Panther you've never seen before, one who will change Wakanda forever. Something has stolen pieces of the Djala, the plane of Wakandan memory, and it's up to the Princess of Wakanda to save it. But for every piece of the Djala lost, a piece of Shiri disappears as well. Will a new suit be enough to save her and her nation? Black Panther 12. Ta-Nehisi Coates, art by Jen Bartle. The gathering of my name reaches a turning point. The can't miss issue. Rising star Jen Bartle returns to the end of the second groundbreaking arc. Years ago, Black Panther departed Earth for the stars and discovered an empire bigger than he could have dreamed. Learn at last how the King of Wakanda found himself a slave in the vibranium mines of a half-familiar world. T'Challa's lost past is revealed here. Oh, thank God, Black Panther in Space is coming to an end. Then we have some more of these facsimile editions. Those are just basically reprints of old Marvel #1s. And then we get to Runaways #21, written by Rainbow Wowell, Andreos Genelette on art duties. Chase is proud to be the Runaways handyman, co-breadwinner, steadfast supporter. Well, their dad. But Chase is headed for disaster. Hold on to your hearts, Steiniacs. Plus, find out what threat Carolina rainbowing out this issue. I mean, that is what is written. I can read perfectly fine. That is what is written in this solicit. I read it word for word. It made no sense to me. So maybe if you read Runaways, that comes across a little more clear. But I mean, my brain's swimming. Doctor Strange #14, Mark Waid and Barry Kitson on writing duties. Barry Kitson is also on art and a cover by Jesus Saez. Clea is back. Dr. Strange's ex-wife finds him at one of the most horrifying points of his life, with Galactus at his back. Can the two find a way to save countless lives? The Punisher number 11. Written by Matthew Rosenberg, art by Simon Kodransky. With Baglia in chaos and Zemo's back against the wall, Frank has never been in more danger. How do you stop a criminal mastermind with an entire nation at his beck and call? What if you can't? Desperate times call for desperate measures on all sides. The end is near. Yay. Punisher, $3.99. Magnificent Marvel number 3. So this is the Miss Marvel relaunch. Celine Ahmed is taking over the book. Ming-Ku Yang is on art duties. Marvel Battle Lines variant by Soo-Jin Jo. A group of aliens are sure that Miss Marvel is the chosen one they've been waiting for. But is she? Something seems fishy with these aliens, and to get to the bottom of it, Kamala will embark on her first big space adventure. You'll never guess who she's bringing along as backup. Okay. The Unstoppable Wasp, 7 and 8, written by Jeremy Whitley, art by Alti Firmashaya. What do you do when your quasi-adopted stepdaughter reveals that she's never had a birthday party and doesn't even know when her birthday is? Well, if you're Janet Van Dyne, original Avenger, Winsome Wasp, Pin Lab CEO, and fashion designer, you throw together the best last-minute birthday party the Marvel Universe has ever seen. But what happens when Nydia's fellow Red Room graduate, Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, crashes the party? I don't know, maybe they just party. What's the problem with Bucky being there? Marvel Rising, number 3 of 5. This is kind of like a kid's book, I believe, a little like the show. This is written by Nila Magruder, Roberto DeSalvo on art. The home of the Inhumans gets a medieval makeover. Morgan Le Fay's moving to New Jersey, and she's just chosen the location for her castle, New Attilan. But the Inhumans aren't planning to give up their home to a queen from another age. And with the fellow Inhumans, Miss Marvel and Inferno nearby, they're hoping they won't have to. The Marvel Rising team joins forces with ISO Reader, Mosaic, and others to save New Attilan and the whole of New Jersey from one of the most powerful sorceresses in history. Black Widow number 5, Jen and Sylvia Sasko. Flaviano is on art duties. Endgame, no restraints. Play isn't playing anymore. As the field of play shifts underneath Black Widow's feet, the true enemy is revealed. Lines are crossed. There is no turning back. $3.99. Marvel Team Up, number 2. Evel Ewing, Joey Vasquez on art. Looks like trouble for our hero, Spider-Man, also known as Kamala Khan. What? Wait, we mean Miss Marvel, also known as Peter Parker. Dang, that's not right either. Peter Khan, Kamala Parker. Well, whoever it is, the duo isn't feeling so dynamic at the moment, and they need to work it out fast. Whatever. Marvel's Annotated number 4. It's another reprint collecting Marvels number 4. Marvel Comics Presents number 5. That's written by Charles Soule, Chris Claremont, and more. Paulo Sequeira, Luke Oss, and more on art duties. Welcome to the 1980s Marvel style. First, Wolverine's vigil goes into its 5th decade, but doesn't go the way he planned. Then join Nightcrawler mid-cross-time caper at the fall of the Berlin Wall. Finally, a tale of the 80s, Marvel's biggest creations, the most lethal of protectors, Venom. We got the Long Night adaptation that ends in the month of May as well. If you listen to the podcast again, that book is like a word-for-word retelling of it with pictures. So if that interests you, that concludes this month, but I'm not going to read that one. We got Mr. and Mrs. X number 11. That's written by Kelly Thompson, Oscar Balduza on art duties. All hail the king and queen of thieves. The Thieves Guild has come to take what is theirs. Where does that leave Rogue and Gambit? And then we have X-Men Grand Design returning. This is going to be Extinction number 1 of 2. Art and written by Ed Piskor. The series that has critics and fans raving returns for its final installment. The Ruination of the X-Men Revisited. Relive the now classic storylines like Mutant Massacre and the Fall of the Mutants with appearances by Longshot, Cable, and the Marauders. Created soup to nuts by comic book superstar Ed Piskor in the mighty Marvel manner. We got Major X number 3 and 4 of 6. This is that Rob Liefeld joint. Art by Walsey Patricio for issue 3 and Brent Peoples for issue 4. With the existence threatened, Major X has no choice but to leap through time to save it. With a little help from Cable and Wolverine, can even the Major overcome the terrible threat and the infamous killer with the initials DP. Uncanny X-Men, number 17 and 18. This is written by Matthew Rosenberg, art by Carlos Gomez for 17 and Carlos Villa for 18. So at least they have first name consistency there. First, the X-Men lose one of their own. Well, that's just another X-Men book. Then the new Black King of the Hellfire Club makes a move. Age of X-Men Next Gen, number 4 of 5. This is written by Ed Brisson, art by Marcus II. The Age of X-Men continues. The Age of X-Men is coming apart at the seams. Oh, who would have imagined that? The students are working on multiple fronts, but they need to put the pieces together before someone finds out. Somebody may already be onto their trail. Age of X-Men, The Amazing Nightcrawler, 4 of 5. This is written by Seanan McGuire, art by Juan Frigeri. The Most Forbidden Love. Role model and editor to millions, Kurt Wagner, better known as Nightcrawler, may have had a lapse in judgment a few years ago, and only Mystique can lead him to the fruit of his loins. Age of X-Men, Apocalypse and the Extracts, 3 of 5. This is written by Tim Seeley, art by Salva Espin. The Age of X-Men continues. The Extracts face the wrath of an X-Man as Colossus attacks. Plus, Dazzler takes on the tongue of a Chernobog one-on-one. For a team who believe in love, they're sure getting in a lot of fights. $3.99. Age of X-Men Extremists, number 4 of 5. Lee Williams, Georges Janty is the creative team, covered by Raza. The art of X-Men continues. North Star, the guiding light that keeps the traveler reassured they are going to the right direction. If only the name rang true for poor John Paul. I don't know what any of that means. I'm not reading any of this stuff. Age of X-Men. I'm going to have an easy May. My comic book reading for Marvel seems to be maybe Spider-Man right now, because everything else is just a tie-in. Age of X-Men Extremists, 4 of 5. Leah Williams. Did I read this one? I don't even know where I am. Yes, I read that one. I'm on to the Marvelous X-Men, number 4 of 5. Lonnie Nadlier and Zach Thompson writing. Marco Fiala on art. The Age of X-Men continues. Is the world beginning to crumble, or are the X-Men going mad? The protectors of the perfect planet of peace find themselves pushed to the edge. $3.99. Age of X-Men Prisoner X, number 3 of 5. Vida Ayala writing. German Peralta on art. One of the inmates holds the key to unlocking their true reality. Is it Beast? And who is really pulling the strings within the prison walls? $3.99. Dead Man Logan, 7 of 12. Ed Brisson, Mike Henderson is a creative team, covered by Declan Shelby. Enter the Wastelands. While Logan was in the Marvel Universe, the Wastelands fell even further into Armageddon. Welcome to your new future, true believers. $3.99. Wolverine Infinity Watch, 4 of 5. I actually just read Infinity Watch number 1 last night, and I'll be honest, I didn't hate it. It kind of fills in the gaps of Wolverine from Legacy compared to Wolverine from Return of Wolverine, and tells you what was going on there. Doesn't mean I necessarily like the explanation, but at least we're giving one, and we know who is who now, and we can move on from there and see what this story is all about. And this is, again, issue 4 of 5 of the mini. This is written by Jerry Duggan, art by Andy McDonald. Things are heating up for Logan as he and Loki try to protect the new Guardians of Infinity. $3.99. X-23 number 12. Marako Tamaki on writing duties. Diego Orletego on art. What truths lie behind the Harvest Company? And does it mean the end of Laura and Gabby Kinney? $3.99. X-Force number 7, written by Ed Brisson, art by Dylan Burnett and Damian Quirso. Strife comes face to face with Kid Cable, but which side will X-Force stand with? $3.99. X-Force number 8, written by Ed Brisson, art by Dylan Burnett. X-Force is trapped in the future, but what kind of future is it? Domino, Hot Shots, 3 of 5. Written by Gail Simone, art by David Balderin. Behold the creation constellation. What does it do? Do you know, besides incite an international arms race between the most powerful governments in the world? Okay, $3.99 for that one. Deadpool number 12, Scotty Young, and art by Scott Hepburn. I saw Scotty Young announce he's actually leaving this Deadpool book soon. So it's kind of unfortunate because although I started cold on the series, I've been enjoying his more kind of one-shot nature stories lately. But anyway, Scotty Young and art, Scott Hepburn art and colors. Scotty. All right, excuse me. Let me start over here. Deadpool 12, Scotty Young on writing duty, Scott Hepburn on art and colors. When Marvel puts out over 100 comic books a month, by the end of the Solicitation podcast, your brain is just a puddle of nonsense words and phrases. Good night and good luck. The brutal, bloody final battle between Deadpool and Goodnight. Even if Deadpool survives, will this blood ever come off his hands? I don't know, y'all. I just want to write a joke or something here, but this mess is intense. $3.99. And then we got some Conan books. I'm not going to get into the Conan books. I know he's joining the Marvel Universe. And when he does officially in Savage Avengers 1, I'll be down with it. But, those are basically the Star Wars books to me right now. And they don't make it on the Solicitation podcast for that reason. But I think that is all, folks, because now I'm hitting, all the solicits for the trade paperbacks and whatnot. If you're looking forward to War of the Realms, May is going to be your month. It is not going to be your wallet's month, but it is going to be your month. Whole bunch of books for War of the Realms. We got a new #1 in Savage Avengers, and we got Spider-Man Hunted storyline concluding. So yeah, man. I mean, you got not a lot of variety to choose from unless you're into this X-Men tie-in stuff or the War of the Realms tie-in stuff. And this is either going to kind of bite Marvel in the butt sales-wise, or they're going to cash in big time. So we're going to wait and find out which that is. Kind of the last line-wide event they did, Secret Empire, did not sell great. So we'll see how this does. I mean, Jason Aaron is a little bit more of a following than Nick Spencer, but I'm telling you, the quickest way to kill my anticipation for an event is to give it 1,000 tie-ins, and that's exactly what they did with War of the Realms. It kills any momentum in books I'm reading, like a Venom story, say, and it also just, I just lose interest in the whole of the event overall. And I couldn't tell you from these solicits, if you decided to read one for me, what book that solicit is coming from, and I find that to be a problem because they all sound almost exactly the same to me with just different casts and teams of random characters thrown together, making almost none of them stand out in a crowd. Marvel's doing a little better than DC right now, but they are definitely falling into their old Axel Alonso tricks and practices here to keep those numbers looking a little more positive probably than what they'll really be. But like I said, be interested to see how this War of the Realms stuff sells. But yeah, top 10 dropped today as I record this. So, maybe the final numbers will come out this weekend and we can get the sales podcast up there for you guys. I always have a little more fun doing that one than the solicits, but I'm trying to keep you guys informed here about what's going on. And I want to get a little more Marvel stuff on that Patreon for you Marvel fans. But yeah, I'm going to sign off here. So enjoy your rest of the week here, guys. I hope your books treated you well. And you know where to find us as far as all the Marvel stuff goes. WS Marvel Comics on Twitter. WeirdScienceMarvelComics.com is the website for reviews. And then, whatever podcast player you use, Weird Science Marvel Comics is the keyword. And we should be right near the top there for you. But like I said, I'm out of here. Expecting my Buffalo Bills season ticket renewal call here any minute, and that's top of my priority list today. So peace out, guys, and adios.